Welcome home. We are WNST, Taos Baltimore, Baltimore Positive. We're AM 1570. Find us out on the dial. Make sure you set a spot for us. We're going to be getting together next Friday. My birthday is next weekend. Luke had his candles and his cake and his Oriole baseball this week. We're going to have the Raven scratch-offs to give away on Friday. We're going to be at Pizza John's in Essex. That is my, it's not really my homeland. Dundalk guy never admits to Essex, but they got great pizza there. They also have a crab cake that's delicious. It's Luke's birthday, so I'm going to get him probably a chocolate milkshake. He seems like a chocolate kind of guy. Next Friday, 2 to 5. Come by, grab a Maryland Lottery ticket from us. Our friends at Jiffy Lube Multi-Care putting us out on the road. And, of course, our Oyster Tour in progress. Brought to you by our friends at Liberty Pure Solutions, 1-800-CLEAN Water. And, of course, our friends at Curio Wellness. I'm trying to dust off here a little bit. Wendy Bronfein is our Chief Cannabis Officer. She is the Chief Brand Officer for all things Curio Wellness and Foreign Daughter. I've decided to go with purple and feel victorious this week. I mean, it was a really good effort against the Bills. I'm looking forward to this Bengals game. But this is a big weekend, not just for Baltimore and baseball this week and all of that stuff and all the other fun things. And my buddy Leonard Raskin's got his crab feast this weekend. But the biggest party of the year is Friday night. And I know you have personal involvement in this because it rocked your world to go to a Maritime Magic. Maritime Magic's Living Classrooms Foundation, and Wendy's here as part of that. And you've come by with James Bond, and James came by my crab cake tour 2 weeks ago at Fadley's. But we're up on it now in a baseball
Yeah.
playoff week and a big football week. I hear weather's going to hold up 75 and not sunny after dark on Friday night, but tell everybody about Maritime Magic a little bit because I'm going to talk about this move product. I'm going to talk about terpenes. We're going to talk about all sorts of things in regard to the cannabis space. But for you guys as a sponsor, but this has like some heartstrings for you because it really is. I say it out loud. I've said it since Brian Billick invited me 20 years ago. It's the best party of the year, Maritime Magic.
Yeah, for a wonderful organization. So, Living Classrooms Foundation, we are philanthropically involved with them as an organization. I sit on the board, but this year's it's the 36th iteration of Maritime Magic
Oh,
this
that's my
year.
lucky number. 36 is my lucky.
Oh,
John
it's going to
Martin,
be.
everybody knows not 36 is my number. Yes.
So they're located on Thames Street down on the harbor, and the event takes over that whole sort of cul-de-sac where they sit, and it brings out food purveyors and beverage purveyors from the area, like all kinds of local features with
Several of
great.
my sponsors are there. Fadley's is going to be there. Beaumont's there. A lot of the people you hear about, because it really is a Lift Baltimore thing. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
a best of It is the best of Baltimore event, kind of, sort of. No offense to Baltimore Magazine, because I know you won some awards, and I don't want to upset Max. She won't buy me crab cakes and have movies with me anymore. But it's the best event of the year outside, especially when the weather's right. It is. You see the dominoes, you're right on the water, you get dressed up, the band's great, you eat your face off, you see people you like. You might even, I don't know, meet a life partner there. Who knows, right?
Yeah, so when I went in 2016, yeah, I ran into my now husband, and the rest was sort of history after that. So
I'm
yeah,
trying to think of where I was in
if you're
16.
going and you're single, it might be a special evening.
Well, and it is kind of it's a wide mix of people and a wide mix of great food. And the people that live in classrooms and listen, James has been on many times talking about all the work they do in the community, workforce development. Believe it or not, and Wendy, I know you have no problem with this, and I would say for our friends at Liberty Pure, as well as you sponsoring our 26th anniversary and the whole oyster thing we're doing, when you get James Bond on and start talking about water and boats and being out on the water and she sailed and he goes through all of that. He knew more about oysters than he might know about workforce. He knew we sat here and did 20 minutes on oysters and Damie came over and he owes me for this. And I know he's going to feed me on Friday. And by the way, thank you that we're going to be a guest with you. And I'm looking forward to you and my wife and your husband have like been hanging at a Lake Street Dive
I
conference, having a
know.
good time without me. But James came to Fadley's last week, and Damie came on the set. And look, you've done live radio with me where I'm out. I'm focused. Things are working and looking around. And I got lottery tickets and all that. She brought me oysters, and I was talking about them, he was eating them. So we're like doing the show together, and we're like, yeah, let's oysters. And tell me about the bay. And Damie's telling me about oysters, and they oxygenate the bay, and they make the crab cakes good. And I look down, and all the
They're
oysters are
gone.
gone. And James, like, he ate them on camera and he denied eating them. So he better feed me on Friday night. Living Classrooms Foundation, livingclassrooms.org is the way to find our friends at Living Classrooms. The way to find our friends at Curio Wellness is basically just get in the car. It's adult use now. We always, the reason we do these segments, try to educate people about the plant. I will have a story about Parkinson's and my mother-in-law's husband and battling. When I know more about it, I could talk about it. But there's a sativa product that's helping him right now with balancing and different things in regard to Parkinson's. You know, Wendy, I got my wife. She's been taking care of her family last couple weeks. It's amazing when we say medicinal and medical and you got a card. And I know 20 years ago when I heard about this in California, it's like, yeah, 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 sure. Yeah, it's medicine. Sure it is. It's medicine. And I've come a long way, and I don't know where you've come from 20 years ago and what the stigmas and all of those kinds of things, but people are getting real help. And beginning with your father and the story we did last year with Gina Shock that I'd love to redo for the holidays this year, bring some crab cakes by, but people come in with real problems to Curio Wellness and to the cannabis space, and they're finding medical help, medicinal help, things that make their lives better.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think, for many years the program was medical only, and we would see kind of a lot more people through the lens of a diagnosis of a specific condition, like in you're saying like Parkinson's and others, or other just general health ailments. Now that we are medical and adult use, what's interesting is we still talk to a lot of people who are still using it therapeutically, even though they're accessing it through adult use. So they may have not signed up for medical and some of the perks that side of the program offers, but their purpose for shopping is exactly the same. And at our stores, Far and Daughter, we have Dr. Nina Fergus on staff, and so she does free consults in person and Zoom with people, whether you're medical or adult use, so she can help guide you to the right solutions as you engage in the dispensary purchasing process.
Well, when people come in, and I say this all the time, they come in, they have an issue, they have a problem, they talk about it, you try to find a product, and it can really be overwhelming. Just understanding, I heard you speaking to my wife in regard to cannabinoids and terpenes and making sure you have the right profile and there I would say, and I don't know enough about this because I haven't been, thankfully I don't go to doctors a whole lot, but that a doctor would know this cannabinoid and this terpene and this profile and this can be helpful to you for pain, inflammation, any number of things. But there is a point. Are you seeing more of that now that it's, dare I say, we're talking about a drug out loud that 20 years ago they'd have thrown me off the radio, I guess, or just just people, it just was not accepted. And I know doctors, when my wife had cancer 10, 11 years ago, they sort of winked and nudged a little bit at Hopkins, say don't smoke it because of her lungs when she was battling
Mm-hmm.
cancer twice. But they did acknowledge that there were elements that would help. Now, wasn't legal, couldn't get gummies, couldn't make it, couldn't have profile, like all of the things that make it on the up and up and make it where you can get a diagnosis and get relief or help in any way. Is it coming around a little bit like that? I mean, will a Parkinson's patient have a doctor now that would say, this is legal now. It's on the up and up, and it works, and the efficacy is there because that's at the root of everything you do is efficacy, and not only on the up and up, but scientifically saying this helps GI tracts. This is real.
Yeah. Well, there's talk about changing the scheduling of cannabis. So it's right now it's Schedule 1, like which is akin to like heroin and LSD and things like that.
Another reason
Um,
to vote the right way next month. That's all I'm going to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. The discussion right now is to move it to Schedule 3. We would argue that it should be descheduled. It was not originally on the schedule and it doesn't really need to live there. But even if you move it to Schedule 3, it will open up the ability to more formally research it. And that can do a lot of the debunking of the myths. Because right now we know a lot of these things because we have these lived experiences of people who are in legal markets and using it and finding relief, but it's not been formally researched in the United States because it's very hard to do that given the Schedule 1 status. So when it comes to the physicians, that carries into, it's not been curriculum in medical school and sort of continuing education, but there are many physicians and other healthcare professionals who have taken it upon themselves to educate. And so you can work with someone who is quite informed. And the University of Maryland's pharmacy school developed a cannabis program, a graduate level program that has both people from the US as well as internationally participating. And that is another great resource to improve the education.
Our time's a little short. Our window's shorter this week because you have some things, and I got Ravens, Orioles, we got Maritime Magic, and all that. Just a few products as it's fall time. I had three different friends of mine. One who's a Curio user and a pal, throw me a picture, the screenshot of my website with the pumpkin, the pumpkin vapes, and that caught his attention. So flavors and different, and obviously gummies and different things. And we always kid about Valentine's Day and your sort of your love products and them being strawberry and red and where the colors are and the packaging and all of that. But the fall is I haven't had an apple cider donut, but I keep passing them in the Wise, and I'm like, I just don't want six of them. I only want one or two. But it is that time of the year, and I think you bring new products to market, and I know you got a whole bunch of new flower with weird names too.
Yeah, so we have so there's a vape line that you're talking about that's called Fused. They're all-in-one units of so disposable vapes, and they come in different flavors. And so, of course, there is a pumpkin spice that is now out. The other line, Flower by Edie Parker, which also has all-in-one vape units, they have a series of holiday specialty flavors that are going to be released. And then,
Are you
even
talking Christmas the first week of October already?
no, I'm just giving you a preview. I'm not saying, go have a
Is that mint? Is
gingerbread
that
something.
cranberry? I'm trying to think of eggnog.
Oh no, that would be good though. I like that.
Yeah, right.
Actually, you know what?
Some
You know what would be
nutmeg in
really good
there.
is just a glass of eggnog from the fridge and the Fireball chew that we make, because Fireball and eggnog, that cinnamony flavor with the eggnog, that would be good. Um,
I haven't had an apple spice. I haven't had anything pumpkin yet. Please let me get through Halloween at least here.
yeah, but no, the black cherry vanilla chew from our classic flavor, that would be great in this like warm fall season as we're
I have
getting
never
into it.
tried that. I see it all the time, but I've never tried that.
Yeah, people love the black cherry vanilla. That's a very popular flavor. I think from a mood perspective, I think like even the lemon lime terp chew is just sort of ideal for those crisp fall days. And if you're going hiking or just enjoying the weekend and the leaves change and all that kind of stuff. And on the flower front, yeah, there's a bunch of new strains out. And some have some crazy names, some of which I'm not sure if I should even say. They're not curse words, but they're just kind of raunchy in a way that like you don't want to say it on the radio.
Did you
Um,
name them? I mean, can't you be in control of
no,
this?
yeah, yes, we could, but sometimes
I
a
mean, I think
strain is,
Cheetah Piss is a good name, but I don't know that I'd buy it as a strain. I mean, it wouldn't attract me to it. You know what I'm saying?
but that's an example where it's like it has notoriety and like that people do know that as a category, so you wouldn't mess with it.
Right.
Um,
But you didn't come up with that
so
name. Right. Okay.
No, no, no. But there's a blueberry wizard. Um, the one I don't want to say is a donkey something.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, they're just the flower's been really beautiful. The profile, the cannabinoids and terpenes is amazing. So yeah, definitely check out that Curio exclusive flower if you are a flower user.
I know how much you like to laugh. You ever heard the Cat Williams thing about names of strains? This
No.
one here is called Death. It's called Death. You never heard that? Like they're just naming these strains, and he's like, no, don't name it that. I mean, give me a better, make it something I want. Warm apple pie. Like Wendy Bronfein is she doesn't name all the strains. I'm trying to talk her into a nasty Nestor strain, but we'll come up with something better than that. We'll come up. Okay, Curio Wellness is our sponsor for our 26th anniversary for our oyster tour in conjunction with our friends at Liberty Pure Solutions. We've been talking a lot of oysters. We've been talking a lot of cannabis. We're talking a lot of baseball and football and offense and defense, and certainly Maritime Magic. If you're free on Friday night, come on down. The weather's going to be fantastic. It's affordable. It's $1.25. It's the price of a nice dinner. It's for a great cause. Livingclassrooms.org. And the best part is, Wendy, if anybody comes up and says, I heard you and Wendy talking about this, and I'm down here, I'll dance with you and I will get you the first lamb chop or whatever it is because you're going to eat your face off. I will see you. I promise I'm going to shave before Friday. I did this for the Orioles just to try to like have a little playoff beard, see how ugly I could get. We'll find out. And I will see you on Friday night. I know you got to roll. Appreciate you. Wendy Bronfein, our Chief Cannabis Officer. She's Chief Brand Officer for all things Curio, Wellness, and Foreign Daughter. We'll hold her longer next week, and we'll have plenty to talk about from all the great food we're going to eat at Maritime Magic. I am Nestor. We are WNST AM 1570. Towson, Baltimore. Luke and I covering sports like nobody. Find it all at baltimorepositive.com.